on here. They got outscored second straight night. Indiana outscored the Warriors bench 31-21. Tonight, the Nuggets bench 41 points to the Warriors 20. And you talk about end of quarter runs. Well, the Warriors didn't finish the first or third quarter well. 15-3 run by the Nuggets in the first, 11-2 run in the third quarter. And the Warriors lose by 10. You got to finish here, and I'm sure Steve Kerr will talk about that right now as he meets the media, talking about this Warriors loss as the Warriors record drops to 6-6.
This game had more turnovers than usual, had more missed layups than usual. Did this one just feel funky from the start?
Yeah, and I think the reason it did, Kareth, is because our defense was not engaged from the beginning of the game, and that was the most disappointing thing. You know, I thought we had really established something defensively over the last 5 or 6 games, and we didn't have the same level of physicality and fight in us in that first quarter, especially. We gave up 37, and that was the difference in the game. I thought our guys did a really good job of trying to fight back throughout the game, and several times we got it down to 6-7 points, but couldn't get over the hump. But it's a difficult thing to do on the road against a good team when you put yourself in a hole like that.
Steve, how much of that had to do, if anything, with just Denver kind of being a funky team? I mean, Nikola Jokic runs the offense. They're so different than most other teams.
Well, they're a great offensive team. I think they came into tonight number 2 in the league in offensive efficiency, and Jokic is a tremendous player. And they are difficult to guard, but we can tell from the sidelines pretty quickly every game, are we engaged or not? And for whatever reason, we were not engaged tonight, and that was disappointing.
How do you fix that, Steve?
Ask them to engage.
Well, this was a tough game defensively, and Draymond takes a lot of pride in being the anchor of the defense. Do you think he'll take this outcome hard? Was this a tough game for Draymond?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think Draymond will take this one personally, because he prides himself on being the anchor of our defense and the engine, and he's been our heart and soul here for a long time. And you saw what happened when he was out the first few games, and upon his return, our defense got much better. So we're always going to need him to captain the defense, to give us that energy and that edge that we need to compete every night. So I imagine he'll bounce back strongly in LA when we play Monday night.
Steve, was there a concerted effort to kind of get Steph going offensively tonight? I mean, he dropped 12 of his 35 right in the first frame.
Not really. I mean, I think Steph he's too established with who he is to really worry about anything. We drew up a couple plays early in the game just because we saw something that we liked, but Steph he's just who he is. So if he has a tough shooting night, you can almost bank on him having a good shooting night the next game.
Do you think he's taken some of the talk about the box and one and just how teams have really guarded him as of late? Like, do you think he's taken any of that personally at all?
No. He's been doing this a long time. Like I said, he's seen everything. He's won championships. He's had season-ending injuries. He's seen every coverage there is. So he's Steph Curry. He's going to be fine no matter what comes his way.
Steve, you talked about not being engaged on defense. Is that something you think translate or moves towards offense? A lot of missed layups and open shots.
Yeah, I do. I think a lot of times the game sort of travels in the direction of your engagement, your effort at the defensive end. There's kind of a karma to the game, and if you're not fighting, you're not competing, for whatever reason, shots tend to not go down. Maybe you don't get calls, whatever. You got to earn a victory in this league. It's hard to win in the NBA, and we didn't earn anything tonight.
What do you think was the biggest problem for that unit that closed the first and third quarters? That's kind of where you guys seem to lose the game.
Well, as I said, the first quarter it was defensive engagement, and then I think the other big factor was just the turnovers. We had way too many turnovers. We were trying to push the pace, but we have to push it with control of the ball and control of the game. And it just felt like we got a little wild out there.
Is there, Wiseman's such a weapon, obviously, offensively, has a good night tonight, but it does seem at times maybe you guys might be trying to force feed him, tight window passes, stuff like that. It seems where some of the turnovers were.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think our guys are comfortable yet throwing lobs to him. And so as a result, last game and tonight, we've tried to bounce passes to him in the lane. We've tried to thread the needle. And some of that is just the connection that has to be made. James has to figure out the spacing on those plays. Young guys tend to get too close to the rim. They want to get right next to the rim when somebody's driving, and sometimes it's actually better to space out a little bit, get to the dunker spot 6-8 feet, outside the hoop, and give the passer an angle. So all of those things are going to come as he gains more experience and our guys get more comfortable playing with him. But I love what James is doing. I mean, he's such a talented guy, and he's